You gotta hit the live button, bro. Oh, there you go.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flixx, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's up, man?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Tuesdays, you got the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. And on Wednesdays, it's us, Fists, Kicks, and Flixx with Gene, Joe, and Angel. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
What's up? You know what? I mean, I feel like we just did this.
Right.
But you know,
we had some wicked weather, huh, Joe?
Oh my God, I'm so done with the weather.
Angel,
2 days ago we had a storm.
Angel, did you get into that weather? Okay, go ahead, Joe.
No.
I'm done with the storms. Between the roads flooding and trees blocking and all that stuff, like I'm just done with these storms. I lost power at 3 a.m. My kids are freaking out and in my bed, and I'm like, I got to get up in an hour, and then it didn't even matter because I couldn't even go anywhere. So I'm so sick and tired of this weather. And then the next day, we had to hunker down in the basement because it got even worse. Now, my power flickered, but it didn't go out, so I was happy about that. But still, and then my her whole yard is flooded. Trying to using a sub pump or whatever to try and pump some of the water because she got the crawl space. She don't got a basement, but you could hear it coming in over by her laundry room. So we were figuring all that out. It's just bad. It's, living on the lake is nice, but like it makes everything swampland.
Yeah.
And so over the years, like it gets so bad.
With the weather that we had, did any of the lake water, did it, come up to the house or?
So the lake was already pretty low, so it just rose it up to a normal level.
Okay.
But like I said, like the two of my neighbors, they had flood, and then between my mom's neighbor on the other side, there's just a big old flood that we just got starting to dry up a little bit because it's been nice out the last couple of days. I mean, other than that, just getting the kids ready to go back to school. Wife's getting ready to go back to school, and a bunch of my family came over on Saturday. Yeah, so that was nice. It was good to see everyone before the school year gets started.
Did your job they have generators, right? At your job, right?
I don't know what happens with my job. They've been out of power one time in like the last 20 years, from my understanding. And it hasn't been since I've been there.
Okay.
I mean, the one storm that we had a few months ago, all the lights out on my way to work. And when I got to work, all the traffic lights are out. All the other people are. Where's just one big bright shining star in the middle of the I'm like, I said, really? I can't. Oh, you know what? If the lights did go out, honestly, I've been told they'll try to put us to work still. They'll probably give me a broom or something and tell me to sweep up the place. Like it's insane. I'm like, you know what? Y'all just let's pack it up, go home, start again tomorrow. But no.
So wow, Angel. So you didn't get any of that wild weather that we had here.
Yeah, what are you guys talking about? What do you have to hunker down in the basement for? You guys are in Detroit.
Because the wind was 75 miles per hour.
We had tornadoes. We had 5 tornadoes touch down in this Metro Detroit area. Yeah.
The closest one to me was Canton.
Oh, Canton
Canton
got messed up. I mean, it was a lot of flooding in Canton. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. we didn't get none of that over here.
Okay.
No,
well, I know the storm had left. It went east, and I know it went to Cleveland and I believe Pennsylvania. So I didn't know if it made its way towards your area also?
No, not even. I mean, I think it rained on Friday, and that was it.
Okay.
That's all. It just rained on Friday. That's all.
Yeah, so it was Wednesday and Thursday for us, man, and it was we got
late,
slammed twice back
late
to
on
back.
Wednesday, and then late again, like after 10 on Thursday.
We literally had a lightning storm. Like it was just lightning all Wednesday night, and then thunder came, and then it came down. So what's up with you, Angel? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling, working. It's like
tomorrow's your first day, right? You ready? You excited?
You probably been back all last week.
Well, but the kids don't know.
Wednesday when the kids come.
Oh, the kids come on Wednesday. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I just been at work. I just been at work, just getting the building ready, doing all that good stuff. It is, yeah, man. Yeah.
Now, do you have your own classroom, or do you go from different room to room? Travel,
bro. I'm not joking when I say this. I think this is like even between all the jobs I've had, I think this is year like 4 or 5 that I've had to go from room to room. I've never had my own desk ever in my life.
So in that type of situation, like you don't have to buy supplies and all of that, because I know you're not taking like a suitcase with you from all these different rooms,
Supplies? What? No, I ain't buying no damn. Don't ask me these questions on here because I don't need people.
See, that's what happens here. Like teachers here have to buy supplies.
Exactly. Don't ask me these questions while we're on live because I don't need people looking at me like I'm a crazy bad teacher. Don't do this. Don't do this. His wife is a teacher. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Actually, she'll probably be jealous that you don't have to buy supplies. I'm quite sure.
Again, I'm not gonna incriminate myself. So I'm gonna leave it at the kids have supplies. That's all I'm gonna say.
She gets an expense account. She has Artsonia, so she can sell stuff for Artsonia. It goes right back into her classroom. And then I think they gave them all a business account on Amazon to help with some of that. So, but she still ends up buying stuff. She still ends up buying a little bit on her own because.
What grade does she teach?
What she wants. She does elementary art.
Yeah.
So she sees all the students in the school.
Do you have for your wife? Is her expense account? Is it reimbursement or is it given to her upfront and then she can buy what she needs?
She gets a card.
Yeah, you see, that's the smart way to do it, bro. They try. Sometimes I hear in Connecticut, they'll try to tell you get reimbursement.
Yeah,
it'd be like you'll get a reimbursement in June when you're leaving.
Yeah. You gotta wait till the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Don't
you
do
just
that.
Gotta jump through a lot of hoops for it. You gotta explain what you got.
This is the thing, man. The thing with reimbursements. This is why I don't like. Wait, we're on live. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. I have a job, and I'm gonna keep my job. I'm not gonna do this. For everyone that wants to know, my week was tiring but good. There you go. That's it. You about to catch me. You about to catch me now. We about to start off on a crazy rant. You about to catch me. You ain't doing it. No, oh man, I got a job. I'm not losing it.
I was just about to remind you. Not only are we, on the Martial Arts Center Network, for our podcast, but also this goes out on YouTube also. So I was gonna just slow you down a little bit,
Yeah, no, listen, but hey, listen. I just know different places do different things. I know here in Connecticut it's reimbursements they do. So you will get, and your reimbursement is only up to a certain number. So I don't know. It's like maybe the number that it is for Joe's wife is probably the same number over here. They try to keep it's pretty consistent no matter where you go. So they give you a certain number you can only go up to. After that, if you go after that, it's all your own money. That's on you.
Okay. All right.
But the smart thing, Joe, you know what I've seen people do over here, and some of my friends that are teachers. Some of my friends that are teachers. It's actually smart, honestly. Like I'll even donate to it. They'll make an Amazon wish list or like gift list, and they'll just post it on their socials. And at any time, like if people want to donate towards it, they get like one thing for them, and it'll get delivered to the school.
Yeah.
So people do that.
The radio stations support that too. Like you can nominate teachers in classrooms.
Yeah, so that's like really good, man.
Yeah, I think that's really nice.
Yeah, so sometimes some of my teacher friends that are in like special education, especially with special education, that sometimes can be really tough for the for the paraprofessionals and all that, because sometimes they need to get their own materials. So I'll like donate like a certain number of money, and I just like whatever it could help them get, it helps them get that. So, well, yeah.
So Joe, my mom used to be a teacher, and
I didn't know that.
she taught for a long time, for years, and she has a bunch of teaching things at my parents' house, and she's been trying to get rid of for years now. When you see my dad next week, if you're able to go teach for me, talk to him about it, because I'm quite sure like my mom will let your wife come get whatever for the school, like take it all. Like, I'm serious. Like, she's been trying to get rid of this
She
stuff.
probably will.
She's been trying to get rid of this stuff for a long time now. That she just got a bunch of stuff down in the basement, and I know that she will be happy if somebody came and took that stuff away.
Hey man, that's actually really good, man. Because some of the stuff that they don't make it the same anymore. So like sometimes it's better to get some things like that predate a certain era, because even like when I know a lot of teachers, they try to get stuff like certain materials between like 2007 and 2012, just because it's like still relevant, but it was made better. It's a different thing. So that's actually really smart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like Joe, like my last week was something else, man. Like with those two powerful storms that came through here, man, on Wednesday night and Thursday. I text my manager. It was like, hey, it's bad here. Like, there were so many freeways. You know what makes it worse is all the road construction that's going on also. So you have all of these streets that are flooded, road construction, lights out, traffic lights out. Man, it was just horrible. So I worked from home, and actually it was good that you let me do it, because I had a lot of stuff I had to take care of here from the house. And then Friday, I just went ahead and went out. I just went down to Dearborn and took care of my retailers down there and see what they needed and talk to them. So that worked out pretty well. And once again, like, it was still like I see water, standing water, and then I'm thinking to myself, okay, how deep is this water as I'm approaching it? Luckily there were cars ahead of me going through it, a car. So, and I have a
So you like follow right behind it?
Not right behind it. I mean, I wasn't right behind it, but they were a little ways up. But I said, if this car can get through the water, then I know my journey can get through this water.
Yeah, okay.
But there was a couple of times, man, I just went in different directions, man, and then trying to avoid the traffic light situation, because there was so many. People don't know how to drive when the light is out. I'm not talking about a flashing red or a flashing yellow, when it's completely out, man. And in certain parts of the city or this area, man, some people just don't know how to drive. It was bad. We did lose power at the school, at the dojo. So yeah. And Melissa told me, like, I'm home, I go out, I work, I come home, and I always get ready. And then she asked me, she said, "You got power at the dojo?" And I was like, "I don't know." I have no idea. I didn't stop by there. I didn't even go by there.
Yeah, you wouldn't think to do it.
I didn't. Yeah. So she was like, maybe you should go by there and see if you have power before you go up there to teach. That way you have enough time to reach out to the parents and let them know. So I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I went up there, and sure enough, man, power out. No power in the school. The McDonald's across the street didn't even have power. So as I was approaching, I saw that McDonald's had cones, in the parking lot. That's when I knew, okay, I probably don't have power in here. And sure enough, when I went in there, the security lights were on inside of the building, but no lights or anything, nothing came on. So I just text all the parents, because on Fridays we have sparring and jiu-jitsu. So I just text all the parents, let them know, no power, don't worry about it. No class tonight. See you guys next week. So,
hey, do you physically text them, or do you have a mass sender that does it all?
No, I personally do it, man, because I don't. I text them individually. Also, I don't do the group texts. I know I don't like getting lumped into a group text with a bunch of people I don't know, and everybody doesn't want everybody to have your number. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I meant like, is there I don't know how to explain it.
I know
More
what you mean, like a way that
like
I can
you
send
could
one
send
message
it.
out, and I don't know.
Instead of it grouping them together, it sends them out individually on their side.
Yeah,
But
I
on
don't
your
know.
side, you're sending it as a group. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's a service or like an app you got to download. Or
Yeah,
Okay.
probably so. But no, I text the message out one time to one person, and I copy it, and then I just paste it on
Yeah.
everybody's phone numbers, and just. I mean, it doesn't take long, like maybe 5 minutes to get through. So
I got you.
it's not really that bad, doing it that way, and letting them all know. Luckily, this time, like, every now and then somebody will fall through the cracks, and I'll get a call like, "Hey, we don't have karate tonight," and then I'm like, "You can get that message,"
Oops.
So yeah, originally what I used to do, Angel, I used to send an email out to people and let them know, and people don't always check their emails,
Or they
but
don't. Their email is not current anymore, or whatever
yeah,
it is.
exactly, yep. So that's why I started texting people, and everyone doesn't have my personal cell phone. Like some of my parents who've been with me from the beginning, they have my personal cell phone, and the ones that go to the tournaments, they have that. But a lot of my newer parents, the white belts and gold belts, they have the dojo number, and I mean it's still a cell phone. So I just have two phones that I have to text people from, but it all works out.
I do the email thing, but and a lot I have so many that end up getting like sent back saying this email is not valid, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case it is, right? So what I started doing from there was to make it easier on myself. I just tell all my parents if you haven't already, like follow the dojo, the
On
dojo's
Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook and
yeah,
Instagram, and
yeah,
I mass shoot all of my updates on there. So
yeah.
that way, if you didn't come to class the day I handed out a piece of paper, whatever it is, it's there, done and over with.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
really
my
have to
advice.
start doing that. Also.
And I'll tell you what, man, and honestly, it's saved time and it's been easier. And then also, it just sets up for when we have other events like demos, whatever. I can put it there, and at least I know majority of everybody will go look at it. So that's just a thing that I use.
Yeah. I tell you what though, man, my legs are killing me. They are sore. I went to jujitsu yesterday, and we did takedowns. And I've never wrestled.
Yo,
I've
yeah,
never wrestled.
it's
It's
different, right?
it's hell. What do you mean it's different? It's hell.
I love
Doing
jujitsu,
takedowns.
man.
I do
I
too. I
love
Listen,
it.
love
it's
jujitsu.
yeah,
But
but when you're doing takedowns, it's like doing lunges.
oh my goodness, yeah, that and the constant up and down, up and down.
How'd you guys
It's tiring.
how'd you guys shoot in?
What do you mean? We did single leg. We did single
That's
and
all.
doubles. Yeah, we did
That's
single
all.
and
Yeah,
doubles.
that's what I was asking. You guys shot in with singles?
We did both. We
Okay.
did singles and doubles.
And doubles?
Um,
You did it from you did it where from a kneeling position, or one guy
mhm.
was standing and
We
you
both were standing. We were
okay.
both we were both standing when we
Okay.
did it.
That's cool.
Can you do a fireman's? Is that legal?
A fireman's carry?
No, for a
Or
fireman takedown.
I have no idea. I don't.
You
So you
can.
shoot
I don't
in,
know.
you grab the leg, you grab the shoulder, and over your back, you throw them, and then
Yeah,
know,
you can.
you
You
go
can.
for mount.
You can. You could
But
definitely do that.
but
That was
can
one
you
of my
do,
favorite takedowns in
can you
wrestling.
do it in competitions, Angel?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
that's
I
what I'm
wanted.
saying. Yeah, you can.
Okay, because I know that
Now,
I know
the
Naga and
only problem.
IBJJF have different rules, so I don't.
Oh, okay, hold on. I was thinking about MMA. My bad. In there, no, because it's considered a
I didn't think
suplex.
so.
You can't do a suplex.
Yeah, I figured.
If I'm correct, suplex you can't. And if you think about, also the other thing is when you're doing the Naga and what's the other one?
IBJJF,
Yeah.
yeah, JJF, yeah.
So when you're doing those, you have to, even when you go for takedowns, sometimes your takedowns have to be from a certain like height position. Like your hips have to be at a certain position. So like how we say like standing up, you really can't shoot from a standing up position. You have to have like a lower center of gravity, lower hips. And that's where you see a lot of people, they'll do takedowns from bottom position. They'll do takedowns from like almost like guard. They'll already start in guard and then do the takedown from there. Because if you think about it, all you gotta do is just wrap your leg, trip on the backside, and then you can roll on top. But that we're getting deep. But that's just I know on that side you can't. On MMA you could. I think their head has to just be. It can't be inverted. I think if I'm right, because then technically they land on their neck, and you know how like it's like the 12 to 6 elbow. It just causes so many more problems. But Yeah. So
So I did that Saturday, man, and my legs were burning. And then I had to go get some shoes for Champ because school was starting. So his mom wanted me originally. She said that he could wear gym shoes. So I was going to get him some, some nice looking gym shoes. And then she texted me and said, "Well, we have to get him a casual shoe." Now, I could not find a nice looking casual shoe for anything, man. I just couldn't do it. They either and he wears a 3.5, so it was either you have to either get a 3 or 4, no 3.5, or the shoes that I saw were like shoes for church. They were like dress shoes. And I'm like, nah, I can't send them to school with church shoes on. So that wasn't gonna work. So I had to just text her after a while. I was like, because me and Melissa, we were out Saturday for about 3 or 4 hours looking for shoes, going from store to store. And meanwhile, my legs are burning, right? So finally I go to Champ Sports, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just getting these Adidas right here, these all black Adidas. They look cool. He's gonna have to get this. I text his mom, like, yeah, I couldn't find them, So then guess what she does? She goes out and gets some. She finds some shoes.
Of course she does.
Right. Right.
Can I ask this question before I respond?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask it live, so I don't know if you're gonna want to answer it. So it's up to you. Are y'all cordial or
yeah, we cordial.
Okay,
Very
so
cordial.
It wasn't like a backstabbing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to ask because when I heard it, I'm like, oh, and then the talk that comes after.
Man,
your daddy ain't, and finish the rest of the sentence. But that's why I had to ask the question before I even.
Yeah, man. No. It was cordial. So she got the shoes, and then I went over there today and gave him his gym shoes. Tomorrow's the first day, so I got to go over there first thing in the morning because I always, we both go to school with him on the first day of school. So I'm gonna go do that in the morning. But man, last night when me and Melissa finally got to sit down on the couch and watch TV, watch a movie or something, my legs were on fire. I said, you know what? I'm about to go take an Advil. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take 2 Advil right now. And I'm drinking a lot of water because that's one of the reasons. Like another one of the reasons why I stopped fighting is because I would get these horrible Charlie horses in my legs,
cramps,
Charlie
cramps,
horses,
man.
And they killed, man. So
are you eating enough fruits or no?
Yeah, well, I eat a lot of vegetables and fruits.
I'm just saying like bananas, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but bananas, watermelon, especially watermelon. Well, I eat a lot of watermelon, a lot of cucumber because they're 90-95% water or whatever. So I try and take that in a lot because of that. And then water really doesn't really help me. I have to drink something like something that has electrolytes in it, like Gatorade, or
do
Propel,
Pedialyte,
whatever.
Do a Pedialyte.
I've never done that. I've never tried that or did that. I might try that one day.
I do that when I'm
doing grappling now.
So I do that if I'm doing like when I was doing jiu-jitsu and then I'm doing like sport karate training and I'm running and I'm weightlifting and doing everything all at once. And I was just stacking my body and it was like starting to get hard on me. I started having Pedialyte with me. And that was like on those long days, I'll drink some Pedialyte throughout the day, like middle of the day. And then I'll have some in like at night or right after my workout. I'll tell you what, everyone says different things. Some people say Pedialyte tastes disgusting. To me, I like it. Like I actually like Pedialyte. It like tastes good to me, and I'll and especially after a workout, when you're thirsty, everything.
Oh yeah. When you're tired,
everything tastes good. So I could kill like almost half to the whole thing of Pedialyte if I'm real thirsty after a workout and I didn't drink nothing. But I feel refreshed though. I will say that I feel refreshed.
All right, well that's our weeks. Joe, are you ready for Never Back Down?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about this movie?
What's up?
I saw this movie before back in the day and don't remember it. I didn't remember anything until the very, very end. I didn't remember anything else about this movie until the end.
I remembered the whole movie, and the other thing that got me about this movie that made me laugh is I used to call this wannabe Paul Walker, the bad guy. Because for the longest time, I kept thinking, who put Paul Walker in here as a bad guy? Why Brian being so mean? But yeah. Then I was like, oh yeah, that's not him. That's okay.
This was this is, the Karate Kid 30 years later. This is what the Karate Kid would have been if it was made in when did this movie come out? 2008, 2009?
2006 or 7?
Yeah, this is what the Karate Kid would have been if it came out at that time.
I feel like that's kind of what they were going for. Like they wanted like an updated MMA version.
Mhm.
They had some decent names in here. Some that were, I don't think Idris Elba and Amber Heard were huge at this time. So
Idris Elba, I thought was not Amber Heard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, because she was.
I think Idris Elba. Yeah, I think Idris Elba was right. Would you say so, Gene?
When was Idris Elba in this movie?
Oh wait, no, Diamond Hunsu. Diamond Hunsu.
There we go. All black people look alike. Here we go.
Because because I already started with the Paul Walker thing. So don't get on me. Don't start with me. Don't even start with me.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I got you, Joe.
You want me to clip that one? We can clip that one. You just let me know. It's okay. Okay.
Was this before or after Gladiator? Because
this was after.
Gladiator.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Gladiator was like 2002, I think. So this had to be. This was definitely after.
Well, then he was the big name in this.
Yeah, Diamond Hunsu. Yeah, Diamond Hunsu was big in this.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I mean, it really wasn't. I mean, even Evan Peters was in the movie, but he wasn't big at this time. And you said Amber Heard, she wasn't big at this time either. So this is all of them, coming out.
Like we said, you kind of got Karate Kid aspects in this, just a lot more updated. The movie starts out, we meet the main character, Jake Tyler. He's like a big football star. He's out kicking ass in this football game, and they're trying to stop him. And one of the guys mentions something about his dad. Sorry about your dad. The sauce that'll kill you. Sets him off. Starts a fight. They don't even show if they win the game or not. So we learn right off the bat, like Jake Tyler has anger issues.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Like that would happen for anybody. Anybody would snap like that if somebody's talking about their dad and their dad
Especially if your dad just passed away.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that pissed me off about this movie. Everybody's acting like he had an issue. Like he's acting like any man would.
So we find out after the game, he's talking with his friend, and he's moving to Florida. From where they said Iowa. I think that's where they started. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they're in Iowa. They're moving to Florida, Orlando to speak. And we find out his brother Charlie is a tennis, superstar. So that's why they're going there. They got a nice private scholarship at a nice tennis school or whatever. And he's not thrilled about it, but he's gonna do what he has to do for his family. It's the mom and the two boys, and all that. And so they move to Florida, and they get there again. Karate Kid,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Daniel LaRusso moving, not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Daniel LaRusso didn't have a sibling, because if he had a young sibling, the sibling probably would have smacked him upside his dumb head.
But I guess they figured they can't make it exactly like Karate Kid. They said Daniel didn't have a sibling, so we're going to give this guy a sibling.
That whole story would have changed. It was like, what if Daniel had like an older brother, and he didn't need Mr. Miyagi? He just the older brother.
Yeah, I heard that. You were changing your voice just there.
Wait a minute, hold on. Talk, Joe?
What?
Yeah, your voice kind of changed a little bit.
Yo, you sound like the bass guy from Boys to Men. Jesus
My mic was acting up earlier, so who knows what's going on.
Yo.
Now you sound like a robot or something.
Joe, you sound like Cicada from The Flash. Like you're talking all crazy. Keep speaking.
What? What's the problem?
Go ahead, man. Keep on going. Hopefully, it might switch. You know what? Do what you did earlier. Do what you did earlier with your microphone. Like turn it off, turn it back on, see what happened.
Yeah. What?
Okay, say something.
How about now?
Even worse.
Seriously?
Even worse.
Oh, this is crazy. Hold on 1 second.
Yo, man, it's
That
yo.
was
Say
cute.
Is it getting
So
better?
let me. Yeah. I hear you. Okay,
you're
now
good
right
now.
there.
You're good now.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I can't wait to hear that later.
Oh,
So
wait
anyhow,
till you hear it.
oh, I can't even wait. So, Jake's going through class. He's kind of keeping his head low. He's eating lunch on his own at the football field. His mom kind of gave him a crack about fighting, and he said, "Well, you don't have to worry because I'm not going to play football at the new school." And he's in class, and he says something, and he looks over, and he talks to this girl that he likes all of a sudden, and it's her name is Baha, which that's an interesting name, but it's played by Amber Turd. That's all I'm going to call her because that's her name as far as I'm concerned.
Oh,
When you poop in someone's bed, that's your name. I don't care. Anyhow,
oh my God. Well, you know what, Joe? I think it's safe to say you will probably never do a movie with her now.
Yeah.
After Aquaman 2, she's not doing a movie ever again. Nobody likes her anymore.
What? She's the shit.
Perfect, Gene. Perfect.
Oh.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
Perfect. So he was walking back from his lunch, and like in a little under the bleacher kind of thing, he sees a kid. It looks like he's getting beaten up by a group of people, but it turns out he's actually in a quote unquote sanctioned fight, as he called it. He's not doing very well, and later on he introduces himself to Tyler. And he had looked Tyler up, and he was talking to Tyler about how he's a fighter and all this stuff, and this was sanctioned. So apparently this is something that goes on at this school. I'm sorry, but every high school I've ever been to, every junior high school, there's always the zero tolerance rule. Don't even get me into that because I could have a whole podcast just about that. So how are these kids like doing sanction quotation marks fights on school grounds and not getting kicked out?
Somebody would have told.
At that time, there wasn't cameras weren't really popular in schools. That's number one.
Yeah, well, they had flip phones.
Yeah, but then the other thing is this though. One, well, I don't know. I mean, I actually think it's actually really hard for them to find out because you don't know how big. Like some high schools they're like huge, so you can find crevices and places where to do it. And then at that time it was flip phones. So like, I don't know, like how many of those videos? I mean, I know in the movie all of them got posted up, but I'm just saying, like, were they really tracking it like that? Maybe not at that time.
I mean, I just assume that some kid, that's not involved with the cool kids would have snitched and told either a principal or a teacher. And
not involved with the cool kids. You saw what happened when you were involved with the cool kids? You saw where you ended up?
Man, there's still people who the cool kids don't even know go to that school. Like somebody would have said something related to a teacher, you would think, especially after all of these years, But it is what it is for the movie. Go ahead, Joe.
So, meanwhile, Max introduces himself, and him and Tyler kind of become buddies reluctantly, I guess you could say. And then later on, he talks to Baha, and she's hanging out, driving with her friends. She invites him to a party. Now, this part of the movie really pisses me off because this, like you said, they're trying to make Tyler out to be this angry dude, and then what happens to him next? Of course, we're all going to be angry. This dude already got anger issues. The football fight, Max had found it online, sent it around the school, so now everyone's talking. And she basically the party is at her boyfriend's house, and his name is Ryan, and he's the badass on campus. He's some professional MMA fighter, which Tyler doesn't know any of this.
Right.
But they're walking around the party, and there's fights going on everywhere. They got fights with girls, they got fights with guys, and then even the one, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard of, they said the battle of the exes. So you got this girl fighting her ex-boyfriend. Like, I mean, come on, man. I get like put on some gloves and fight each other, but come on. And she was kicking his ass, so at least that was happening.
And nobody knew about it. Nobody's parents. Nobody found out, and it's All on camera. Okay.
But they show you a lot later that his dad ain't nothing special. So
Well, I didn't mean him. I meant like there were a bunch of kids there. Like the whole high school was there. You know?
but it looks like the dad like kind of promoted this kind of behavior.
Was the dad a fighter? I couldn't understand that part.
Yeah, I couldn't either. It kind of seemed like he.
It seemed like he was like an MMA fighter, and then he trained his son to be an MMA fighter. That's what I thought.
It seemed like he was
almost scared of him either way.
Yeah.
That's why I think I had that idea of it.
So anyhow, we come to find out, this is the part, like I said, I'm kind of mad about. Ryan has used his girlfriend to bait Max here, or not Max, Tyler, to fight him. Like he's he wants them to be the main event. So of course Tyler's pissed. He's like, I'm not doing this. And just like before, he brings up the dad. He knows, everyone knows this guy's trigger before they barely even know this dude, and they know how to trigger him.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, "Yeah, get me the gloves," which is, I'm sorry, that is stupid. Okay, I'm a very stubborn person, and I don't back down from many fights. But I'm on your turf, playing your game. I'm not stupid enough to do that.
Solo,
I have
by
my,
yourself.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know this. You don't know that these people are fighting MMA. You're just a street brawler.
And he could have got jumped. Like if he would have beat him up, like his boys could have easily jumped him, stomped him out.
Yeah,
you know. So
his boys could have beat him up first before you had to fight Ryan in the first fight.
Yeah. So, like I said, this whole thing goes bad really fast. Tyler gets beat up pretty good. He tries a few little tricks to, help things go his way a little bit, but it wasn't enough. I mean, the first time Ryan throws a damn leg kick on him, he's like, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that's my favorite thing to do in a fight when people don't know that I know karate. You leg kick someone for the first time and they don't know it's coming, they will freak out. They will fold up their tent and go home.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't stand.
That's what I'm saying. But
you can't stand, you can't punch.
It. Nobody expects it. That's the funny thing. Like, unless we're in a MMA fight, like you just don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
You can end most fights that just kick the leg out from under them and say, "Leave me alone, go away." So he goes home, and of course Max is taping this. I have a lot of problem because I'm one of those people, like, I can be a very trusting person, but when you mess me up like this, like, one, the girl, you brought me here under false pretenses. Bye, bitch. I'm not talking to you no more. And then Max is taping this whole thing, taping me get my ass handed to me.
Bro, he's the reason why he got in trouble half of the time anyways. Like, that's the thing that kills me.
Yes, I was saying the same thing. Like, I like that actor, but I don't like his character in this movie. He is stupid. Like, I'm not being friends with you. The first time I tried to stick up for you, I almost got my ass kicked. And now you are taping me getting my ass kicked. Like, we have problems, bro. I'm not being your friend. Go away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to steal your car next time you talk to me.
Yeah. Nice car, though.
Right? So,
nice car.
I was hoping they would explain what was up with his family later on, but they never really did. They kind of touched on it just a little bit, but they never really went in deep with it. Because
that's how it felt.
He had money too. He had money too.
That's how it felt like for everybody's characters, except for Diamond Hunsu for the trainer and Jake. Mm-hmm. Everybody else had they very barely scratched the surface for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, a part of me felt like I was watching Fast and Furious, just the fighting version.
Yeah.
It had that feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Did they ever say what the mom does? Because the mom is.
I thought she was a nurse.
It looked like I was gonna say, it looked like she was wearing like nurse clothes.
Yeah,
but they never said it. I think I just saw her wearing the nurse clothes.
Because she's definitely working the graveyard shift. Because these kids are often home around dinner time by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that it's a big deal. I just thought, And then meanwhile, now Tyler's recovering, so his little brother's taking care of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Mac shows up, of course. I'd have told Mac, get out of my house.
Well, he kind of, he wasn't happy to see him, and he kind of said,
I know,
what are you doing here?
Max is trying to, get him to join the MMA world, and I get that, but like, dude, you got me into this situation. You're taping me, and now you're trying to get me into more trouble. Like, go away, leave me alone.
Right.
Well,
I'm
you
just
know what's
like,
crazy too is like their relationship started out with Max sucker punching him.
yeah.
That's the
Well,
craziest thing to me.
so anyhow,
So
he he decides, I guess he's gonna go check out the MMA gym, and he gets there and he meets what they call this dude, Damian Husa. I don't even know how to say that. How do you say his name?
well, I mean I know how to say his name in real life. I don't know what his name was in the movie. I forgot.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
man. You know what? I'm just gonna pull it up. The
it's
Wikipedia.
DJIMON. Like
D say it again. DJ
DJIMON.
Imon.
That sounds close enough to me. Anyhow, so he's running the class, and he tells him to come back with Max tomorrow for the beginner class. And of course, Jake Tyler, being who he is, he's like, "Well, what's this class?" He said, "This is the advanced class." Why can't I do this class? And he says, "Well, because it's the advanced class. You got to be here." He's like, "Oh, I'm a quick learner. I can keep up." And he lets him. I'm sorry, no
Yeah.
good, coach. I don't care
Instructor.
any coach, instructor is going to be like, "Yeah, go ahead and join the advanced class." Like, you got to earn that. I'm sorry, you just do.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even know. You got to start with the basics. So I don't know. Like,
Did
I get
this
it's
movie,
a movie
did this movie bother you guys as karate instructors? It bothered me.
to a point.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It didn't bother me because it wasn't karate. It was MMA, and MMA gyms are not like karate schools or
A
karate
lot of them
academies.
have a lot of them have karate programs. I would probably say like 90% of them, but they're for like ages like 5 to like 9, I think. But a lot
Well,
of
what
them
was your
have a
what
karate
was your
program.
biggest gripe, Angel?
Well, like I'll be honest. So like I've watched this movie 100 times, right? But I haven't watched it in years, and I haven't watched it as like an adult. So looking at it from an adult's eyes, dude, like I love the movie. I think it's a good movie. I just really hate the way like there's so much dialogue and back talk between like him being the coach and the instructor, and then him being the student. So like that bothered me, right? You know that one of the times, I'm sure we'll get to it later on, when he says like, "At least I have a home." Like, where do you get coming
Right.
off just saying like where the hell, like who do you think you are? That you could just come in and just say whatever you want. He always has like a smart remark or a smart answer for everything the coach says. I don't know. Maybe it's just like
And we got to
the
remember
way.
he's a kid.
Yeah, and that's like the tough part. And it's like, yo, like I guess it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just for me. Like I've just always been a
No,
type
you're
of
not
person. Like
wrong. You're not
if
wrong.
you tell
You're
me to
not wrong.
do 100 push-ups after I just did another 100 push-ups, I may say in my mind, this fucking sucks. But guess what I'm gonna do? 100 push-ups as I say that to myself. It just like that to me was like something I didn't like, man. That was like real tough for me.
Like, but for me, like I said, man, MMA gyms and karate schools to me are different. It's a different atmosphere, and MMA gyms don't focus on respect and discipline, and that's one of the things that we expect from our students as
I can see
martial
that.
instructors.
I can
And
see
I
that.
don't think MMA gyms do that. It's almost like one of those Gold's Gym or Powerhouse gyms. Those are just tough guy weightlifting places. It's not the same as a Planet Fitness. You're going to get a different type of person that's
No,
going
I
to
got
train
you.
at those places.
And like I said, I like that. I mean, that's a good point. I don't know. I don't want to speak on all MMA gyms. I want to speak on most, but I have been to different MMA gyms, kickboxing gyms, where there's a little bit more. I don't want to say leniency, but there's just I don't know. I guess just the line, the boundaries is not as defined as it is in karate. So maybe that's a good point. I didn't even see it that way.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna be good when we watch the next two, because
Baja
remember
shows
all
up.
that.
Baja shows up, and the little brother. I like the little brother in this. I liked him better than Tyler.
Actually, I got worried for him. I got worried.
Why?
Because I said, all right, something is going to happen. Either the little brother is something's going to happen to the little brother, or something's going to happen to Evan Peters' character. One of them, I did not think was going to be at the end of the movie. I didn't think one of them was going to make it.
Yeah.
And I was really leaning toward the little brother. I'm
No,
like,
damn.
Oh, no, that would have been horrible.
well,
Little
You're
brother had nothing to do with
sick.
that.
that's the feeling that this
You're
movie was
sick.
giving me.
You're
Yeah,
sick.
this
Well,
is that's the
anyhow,
feeling.
no, I get you. But so she shows up, and the little brother's like, I don't know what she's here for, and all that, but whatever she did, you just accept her apology.
Right,
And it
right,
just
right.
made, I just, meanwhile, like, no, Tyler did the right thing. Like,
Yeah,
kick
yeah,
rocks.
yeah.
And he should have kept up that, because, like, how, come on,
Man,
you set someone up to get just destroyed. Like, oh, that really just, it makes me mad. Like,
man,
it's one thing.
Muhammad Ali said it best. The toughest thing about training is getting in bed before 9 o'clock alone with nobody next to you. Muhammad Ali said it best, man. That boy, I tell you, the power it be getting over you. Because you're right. I said the same thing. Listen, I was like, if you set me up to get beat down like that, and then you watch it and you're almost like, it's okay. Like, I don't even want like you and I.
And then she
should
tried
do
to
the
get
battle of the
sympathy. She
exes.
tried to get sympathy
That's
on
what I'm
herself
saying.
and
That's the
start
part that
crying.
makes me mad. You're basically trying to make me feel bad about your actions. I get that you're sorry. Okay. Now, thank you for the apology. Now get out. Leave me alone. Like, I
Man,
don't
you know
want to hang
what, man?
around you.
That is the gaslighter right there. That is someone who likes to gaslight, and we should have all seen that as she wasn't acting. That was her true personality. And
Right?
we none of
Right?
us said maybe we should check on this, because that's basically what happened when she started doing stuff in a bed next to Johnny Depp while he's sleeping. Just crazy.
And on top of all that, so she even breaks up. Now, this whole thing is getting in her head. She's really, like, upset that Jake won't, like, talk to her. So she even goes to break up with her boyfriend, which I think is, a little out there. Like, you did this. You got to just own it. Just own it. Be like, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. What's your point? But no, she can't get over the fact that somebody's mad at her. And that just, like, I don't know. She's simping too much for Jake. So Tyler, he's in a bad mood. He's training, and he's again very disrespectful to the trainer, and he's trying to tell him, you got to calm down. You got to get your head in the game. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do this. This is not going to work for you. And he leaves, and he's kind of thinking of his dad and everything. He's just very emotional. And there's a Jeep behind him and Max, and they're some dude bros out there just being assholes. So of course, Jake being Jake, he's all pissed off. He goes out, starts a fight with all three of them, and he gets beat up a little bit, but he basically takes care of all three of them. And of course, again,
There's
Max
Max.
is taping it. I'm sorry, but Max, I'm gonna break your camera. I'm gonna break your phone. You're gonna get me in more trouble, which is exactly what happens, because now it goes viral. Now Ryan, of course, wants to fight him again. He's blowing up on the internet. He's blowing up at school, but he gets in trouble with his instructor, because the first thing he said was, "You don't fight outside the dojo." And
He's
so
lucky he
now
didn't get in trouble with the law, because like
that too,
he could have had a lawsuit against him.
100%. So, oh, and of course, Ryan, because, this is another Karate Kid aspect, corners him in the bathroom and says, "Oh, I'm not impressed. Do you think I'm impressed with you?" Puts him on the ground, kind of, chokes him a little bit. God, this guy, I don't know. He's worse than Johnny Lawrence.
But this guy was a horrible actor also. Like, I don't think he was
He
a really
really
good actor.
was.
He
really
seemed,
was
he seemed
terrible.
to me, he seemed like he was overacting and overdoing it.
Really?
Like, I was like,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even notice it. I hate his face. I hated his face.
I mean, if they would have said,
his face.
if they would have said that he was doing coke and he was coked up, then okay, I
What
get it.
the- wait, what?
Yes.
What?
If they would have said that he was coked up the way he was acting, then yeah, I would have got okay. That makes sense, because he's overdoing it. But if this was just this guy's personality, he seems a little crazy.
Bro, I hated his face. I don't know why. There's just something like he looked evil. He looked
did.
evil. Like he was hey, what did you guys think about some of the fight scenes leading up to before we get to the beatdown? What did you guys think about it?
I didn't have any issue with them. I mean, they were fine.
I thought it was
the fight scenes were pretty, to me, the best part of this whole movie, because the
Well,
movie
yeah,
itself just okay.
I think the fight scenes were really good. I think it's interesting, especially when we see the next two, what this movie focuses on and what the next two will focus on, because they all three movies naturally they all focus on something different. And I
Yes.
mean, like in terms of like the I don't know how to explain it, like whether it's stand up, ground, transitions, Muay Thai, whatever it is. What did you think this
Yeah.
one focused more on? I feel like this one was more focused on.
The
I
ground.
want to say stand up, but it was ground, right?
Yeah, it was
You guys
ground.
agree with that?
I
Okay,
I would say ground.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I said. But it's just weird the way he ended the movie. It threw me off. But I thought the fight scenes were actually really good. The choreography was nice, and none of the
It
stuff
was.
seemed so out of the realm. I will say though, I think it's interesting to see the way they did like the training montage, because you don't see training montages anymore. So they still had that aspect to it. And I think it's kind of crazy how like some of the
They
stuff
ripped
that
off
people,
Rocky. How they
yo,
ripped off
yes,
Rocky.
yes, like some of the stuff they were doing, I was just like, man, like no movie now even does this. Like some of the training that these people are doing is like what you do as I don't know, like an intermediate person that just goes to normal class all the time. It's not even like a hardcore training. So I think it's just crazy to see like the evolution of MMA. Because like, imagine if people were doing what they saw in the movie there. If someone was fighting like that now, he would get destroyed. Like he wouldn't even have a chance.
Yep.
Wouldn't even
So
have a chance.
Max and Tyler are basically stalking the instructor until he gets him alone. He apologizes. He gets back on his good side, and he's starting to make better decisions, except for accepting Baja's apology and basically making her his girlfriend. That's dumb. Like, she's gonna crap on your bed one of these days, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. I'm just playing.
Oh,
Also, Max tells Tyler about the beatdown. It's a tournament. You can win money, and of course, Ryan's won it 2 or 3 years in a row. But he's kind of making better decisions now. I think at one point, like at the beginning, he wanted to do something like that, but now
Yeah.
he's trying to stay away from all that, and he decides he's not going to do that. And of course, because Ryan is, Ryan, he figures out the best way to bait him into that, and that is to pick on Max. So he gets Max to show up at the house, tells him, let's do a training session, show me some of your new moves. And he beats Max very severely. And then they
No.
drop him off at Tyler's house. They take him to the hospital. And of course, right away, against his better judgment, he's in. He takes the bait, no problem. He's gonna go fight at the tournament.
His mom was okay with it.
Yeah, his mom is kind of. I mean, but like I said, he has been doing better. He's showing up for the family. He's not fighting all the time. He showed up for his brother's tennis thing, so he's doing better. But he does explain, like, I have to do this not to fight, but I sometimes you have to fight for what you think is right, and
you gotta
I
stand up
need
to
to
a
take
bully.
this bully. Yeah, I got to take this guy down a peg, because he's gonna who's he gonna hurt next? Who's he coming
As
for
Gene
next?
would say, he's gonna come for Charlie. That was the next
Yeah.
one on his list.
Yeah, he said it too. Yeah. So
And so, I mean, we get to the beatdown. It's a 32-man tournament, and
Bro, I swear to God, I swear, Joe, you really blew my mind.
What?
I really did not realize this is the Karate Kid. As we're getting closer to the tournament, I'm like, damn, Karate Kid was a tournament. And then I'm like, this was a tournament. This is crazy. Like, you really blew my mind, dude. Like, swear to God, this is crazy.
So here's the thing about the tournament that was annoying. So the first fight they say is going to be Ryan and Jake, but then it was a different last. It was Jake Taylor, not Tyler.
Afion
So then,
Crockett
of
over
course,
there reading the wrong names.
yeah, right. So they go through and they show both, just like the Karate Kid. They're showing Jake's fights. He's struggling a little bit, but he's getting by, mostly with takedowns and submissions. Meanwhile, Ryan is just being Ryan. He's just beating the crap out of people, practically breaking people's arms. Da, 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 da. So of course they get to like the semifinals, and Jake's gonna, he's got a semifinal match. They show Ryan's first, and then during Ryan's match, I guess he was struggling a little bit, and he used an eye gouge to help win, and gets disqualified. So
Which
when
was
Jake comes
crazy because
in
he was
and
beating
gets,
him anyways.
I know, but the dude's just an asshole, man.
Yeah.
So Jake looks up and he's like, "What's going on with Ryan? What happened?" He finds out disqualified, and he taps out. He's got broken ribs. He's like, "If I was only here to take out Ryan, if I can't take him out, peace out."
Yeah, I
Which is
like that.
crazy,
Actually,
man.
I like that part.
Me
I
too,
like that he
actually.
did that.
A part of me didn't like that because if that was me, I'm the type of guy like I gotta finish stuff when I started. But that wasn't why he was there, so I get it. But of course, as he's leaving, Ryan being Ryan has to run out and start some stuff. Attack him from behind because he's a bitch. And we have the final fight. Now, at the training dojo, the instructor was teaching him how to use his breathing to help him with his
Why are you
combinations
getting
and
upset? Why are you getting upset?
kick the bag.
I'm gonna let Joe finish first. And then I'll
Helping
tell you
him
why.
kick the bag from like 2 feet to like 20 feet. Go ahead, Gene. I brought this up on purpose because I knew it was gonna piss Gene off.
Because man, Ryan should have died at the end of this movie. If you can kick a punching bag 20 feet, he kicked Ryan in the neck. His head should have fell off. You heard it crack.
Yeah,
You
and it
heard
looked
him
like he
crack.
gave him like whiplash.
Yeah, and he falls down. And then later we see him at the end of the movie. They kind of nod at each other with respect. He didn't have a neck brace on. he should have been paralyzed.
It's a gentleman's agreement, Gene.
I'm talking about the type of kick that he did. That was the crane. That was his version of the crane.
Listen, there's a bigger problem here. Okay.
Well, hold up. Before you go, Joe, sorry. My problem was he judo threw him on a concrete floor. I was like, you will get knocked out cold and probably bust your skull open. Like, there's no way. When I saw that, I was like, yo, it's a cool fight scene. Got the cars backing you in, Fight Club. But I was like, bro, you'll die like instantly off your first time you hit the floor.
Okay, but like I said, there's a bigger problem here. Okay, I don't know how many. They said Ryan been training since he was like 9. This dude been training for a month.
Like Daniel.
And he's got broken ribs. You're not winning that fight, bro.
Daniel's
leg.
Ryan is fresh, okay? Ryan is fresh.
Yeah.
You're beat up and done.
Yeah.
If you're not winning that fight, and he was just kicking your ass. I don't care how dig you deep. You're not winning that fight.
You got me really sitting here saying like I want to see a fight now between Ryan and Johnny Lawrence and who was gonna come out on top. Like this is crazy. Like you really got me so deep. Like this is the Karate Kid.
I'm going with Johnny because we've seen Johnny beat up teenage kids before, so I'm rolling with Johnny.
Ryan wouldn't stand a chance.
Oh yeah, man.
And that's pretty much the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's the end of the movie. And this might be one of those series where I think I like the second and third movie better than the first one.
The second and third are amazing.
They are great. And I mean that's just my personal opinion. But overall, I mean, like this movie, it is what it is. I like the choreography. The storytelling wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. The acting wasn't spectacular, but overall, I'll probably give it like a B-.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Angel?
Can you come back to me? I'm still thinking on my grade.
Well, I'm also. I mean, this is a movie that if I saw it on TV when I'm scrolling through and I see it on, I probably will watch it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, at least see what scene they're on. So I would give it a B- also. I mean, it was. I don't really have a lot to complain about. The story still moved along. It was nothing just ridiculous in the movie. Nothing that was going to take me out of the movie. I stayed in the movie the whole time. So yeah, I give it a B-.
I'll say B+.
Okay.
I really like the fighting, man, and I think this is one of the last movies that was made this way. Like from this era, like in that era of mixed martial arts movies, and just like this coincides with like the Undisputeds. Like Joe, you know what those are, and Gene, you know what those are, right? So like
Mhm.
this, like they don't even make movies like that anymore. Like now, they would never make a fighting movie like that. So I think it's yeah, I think it's like a B plus, man. I think it was pretty good. The story, well, now that you guys basically just ruined the whole movie for me, it's a Karate Kid. So if I give the Karate Kid an A, I'm not gonna give this an A, but I'll give this a B plus, like without a doubt.
All right. Well, that's it. You guys got any closing remarks?
No, Never Back Down 2 we're gonna do, and then Never Back Down 3 we'll do after that. The next two are gonna be real interesting. I really want to see what you guys think, because it's real different from the first movie, especially because it pretty much changes the whole complexion of what the movie was supposed to be about. So it's gonna be real interesting to see what you guys think.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it because I have not seen 2 or 3, so I'm definitely looking forward.
Oh, you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna actually like it. Actually.
So do I. So do I.
All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week, and I will play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.